AI is flooding the internet with content. Most of it is really bad, but some of it is so good that we can't tell that it's been created by an AI. The irony is that some of the world's biggest brands and AI promoters, Google, Meta, TikTok and X, they all rely on user-generated content to earn their billions. And yet, this AI that they promote is destroying their own business model. Now, a lot of businesses also rely on that same business model. They place their advertising amongst the content and the search results. There's endless marketing advice out there on how to get your ads seen on those now threatened platforms. So what happens when AI content gets better, more real, and eventually indistinguishable from human-created content? If the big platforms and their business model go the way of MySpace, print newspapers and terrestrial telly, then what happens to the content that you and I make? My name is Simon Batchelor, and in this video I'll explain how AI will disrupt marketing and the internet as we know it. At the moment, AI output doesn't actually need to be very good. Blog posts, news articles, emails, summarising documents, none of that work is critical and it's often human checked. After all, most of what is already being done by humans is already pretty average anyway. So it's easy for an AI to show up and match it or just be slightly better. The point is that a lot of internet content doesn't actually even need to be good or engaging or make sense for it to be effective. Social media posts, blogs and articles, they all feed into these search engines and AI algorithms and give them something to index. Filler content is designed for one thing, and that's to be good in Google search results. The idea being people click on that content and then see an ad on that website. Often those ads are ones that Google itself has placed on that website. This is what the murky world of SEO has been up to for many years. The business model is that the more you show up in searches, the more visitors you get to your website, and then the more revenue you get from showing them ads. It doesn't even matter if the visitor reads that content or not. The view just has to register to get the revenue from the ad provider. Up until about 2 years ago, this process took time and human toil to create. With AI, that content can be created on an industrial scale, and search engines have become flooded with spam content that is hard for them to distinguish between human-made content. And it's not just written content, there's loads of AI-generated images, and there are TikTok videos of random footage with an AI voice reading text from Reddit, and then there's even nonsense videos on YouTube for kids. In a recent podcast I was listening to, Ezra Klein summed this up really well. He said, "The internet has felt like it's been in a state of decay for a while. Google search results, YouTube, X, all of it felt more human, more delightful, more spontaneous and real just a few years ago." So what's happening to the huge gatekeepers like Google, Facebook and YouTube that built their empires on user-generated content as they are bombarded by this AI content? How do they adjust when they themselves are often the ones creating the AI bots that make the content that is destroying their own business model? The platform business model relies on users finding and then interacting with their best content so that their recommendation engines can show more of that kind of content to people. This is often framed as delivering you the right thing at the right time, and that might be content or answers to search queries. However, the real aim of these AI algorithms is to keep you scrolling, because the longer you're in the app, the more opportunities there are to place ads amongst the content. These ads often lead to a transaction, such as filling in a form or making a purchase. If we add AI into the mix, we can create a potentially infinite amount of content, and that model simply breaks down. We already have more supply than demand. There is more content being made than is ever consumed. So with AI, well, the system simply can't keep up. And the weirdest part of all, the platforms can't stop this from happening. For Google or Meta, their stock price now depends on developing AI models that can create content, answer questions and chat with humans. They have to build and funnel money into the very thing that is destroying their business model. So at the moment, AI content is at its best okay, but what about when it's not? AI can already fool most people on a phone screen. In chat messages, it's almost impossible to tell apart from a human. Content-wise, there is still a way to go, but that's where the investment and the money is right now. And let's face it, the bar to beat is not that high. Most internet content is mediocre. AI only has to be a little bit better than that. The underlying question for me is whether it matters if the content is made by a human or by an AI. I believe that content made by a content farm or a bot stuffed full of ads is not really serving anyone. It's one of the worst aspects of the internet. What AI is not good at, and probably never will be as good as humans at, is new ideas. If you look at TikTok, dances or video styles that become popular are copied, and this is because the AI is optimizing for videos like this. The result? Well, it all starts to look the same. So the more AI makes your content, the more homogeneous it becomes. When everything looks the same, nothing stands out. The key to standing out and to attracting attention is having a new idea and starting something new. Now that is where showing up as yourself, rather than copying others, and sharing your own ideas and concepts really sets you apart. Now you might be thinking, Simon, this is really overwhelming. I just want to hide in a cave and just wait for this whole AI thing to blow over. Now that is understandable, yet probably not that practical. The need to be different, to be original, is both scary and exciting. But I believe the key is humans finding and seeking connection with other humans. If you try and make content that replicates what the AI wants you to replicate, you're just going to be the same as everybody else. If you do your own thing and find your own voice, you will attract those humans who are seeking connection with other humans. To join a group of most excellent humans and become a subscriber, go to simonbatchelor.co.uk. I'll see you in the next video.